Welcome to the Shiny-Headed Historian, where we explore different cultures, beliefs, and traditions from around the world. I'm your host, Mr. Shiny, and today we'll be taking a closer look at Buddhism, one of the oldest world religions. So put on your thinking caps, grab a notebook, and let's dive right in. Buddhism is a religion that originated in India over 2,500 years ago and is based on the teachings of the Buddha, whose name means enlightened one. Buddhism is a path of spiritual development and a way of life that aims to help people achieve inner peace and happiness. One of the key values shared by Buddhists is compassion, which is the belief in treating all living beings with kindness and understanding. Buddhists also believe in the concept of interdependence, which means that everything in the universe is connected, and we are all responsible for our actions and the impact they have on others. Buddhism was founded in India over 2,500 years ago, and it has since spread to many other parts of the world, including Southeast Asia, China, Japan, and even the West. The Buddha lived and taught during a time of great religious, social, and political change in India, and his teachings offered a new perspective on life and the world. The main goal of Buddhism is to achieve enlightenment, which is the state of ultimate happiness and inner peace. Buddhists have a belief that this can be achieved through the Four Noble Truths, which are the truth of suffering, the truth of the cause of suffering, the truth of the end of suffering, the truth of the path that leads to the end of suffering. In addition to those Four Noble Truths, Buddhists also follow 5 other ideas that help guide them to live in harmony with themselves and those around them. One is to avoid taking life or not to kill. Another is to avoid taking what is not given or stealing. Another one to avoid misconduct or not do the wrong thing. Number 4 is to avoid lying and harmful speech. And number 5 is to avoid intoxicants that cloud the mind, which means drinking and drugs. Buddhists practice mindfulness and meditation, which helps them focus their minds and develop a greater awareness of the present moment. They also participate in rituals and ceremonies, such as chanting and offerings to the Buddha, as a way to show respect and connect with the divine. The sacred writings of Buddhism is known as the Buddhist canon, which includes such texts as the Sutras, the Vinaya, and the Abhidharma. These texts contain the teachings and principles of Buddhism and are considered to be of great importance to Buddhists. Buddhism has many symbols that are used to represent different aspects of the religion, such as the Buddha, the Dharma wheel, the lotus flower, and the stupa. The Buddha is the symbol of enlightenment and represents the path to happiness, while the Dharma wheel represents the teachings of the Buddha and the journey to enlightenment. The lotus flower represents purity of the mind, and the stupa is a symbolic representation of the Buddha's teachings. That's all for today's episode of the Shiny-Headed Historian. I hope you learned a lot about Buddhism and its values and its ideas and practices. Remember, knowledge is power, so keep exploring and discovering new things. This is Mr. Shiny signing off.